Hey, how's it going, YouTube friends? It's me, your one furry boy, Never. And I want to say welcome to my new friends. I don't know what I do to deserve YouTube friends like you. I am the most grateful YouTuber under the sun. We've hit 60 YouTube friends. I'm so proud that you're telling your friends about me and your friends are telling their friends and so on and so forth. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I do to deserve you. It's better than I thought I would ever get and more than I ever just thought I deserved. Thank you for being my YouTube friends. And before I forget, this is the only show with lemon-scented limes, lest I forget, and the only show with a supernatural, super awesome third eye thingy. Yeah, buttons, forehead. Don't forget that, kids. I just want to say thank you also for subscribing to PewDiePie. I know my videos are being blocked in India because of this, but I am about supporting the small creator because I am a small creator who's getting bigger. Oh, yeah. So before I get into a whole blubbery thing, it's Wednesday again, my friends. You came here to see a movie review. Let's get into a movie review, shall we? Today's movie is Hellboy. It is a rated R movie, and for a Hellboy film that's not PG-13, they really do go for the not PG-13 kind of thing. It's 2 hours, which satisfies my number OCD, but it's so fast, action-paced for an adventure fantasy movie that you don't get time to breathe. And it's a little frustrating, and I can see why people were upset. So, director was Neil Marshall. Andrew Cosby did the screenplay, created by Mike Mignola, who did the original Hellboy comics. Our cast, first build only, because you don't want to listen to me read names all day. And I'm going to keep it to the short and sweet version, because you guys seem to be really liking that. Milla Jovovich as Nim, the Blood Queen. I like Jovovich's performance here, but she's so on screen, so short of a time, and a lot of it is very graphic and gory and bloody that I wasn't really thrilled. Penelope Michelle as Grindilla. Ian McShane as Professor Broom. And yes, he is the hard cursing version of Professor Broom, which is kind of contradictory to the character. David Harbour as Hellboy. I don't know what they were doing with the face and the chest. His chest looked like he had pillows covered in latex rubber or something under his, and his abs were kind of ridiculous. Sophia Okonedo as Lady Hatton. Sasha Lane as Alice Mogonhan. Terrible with names. If I'm doing it wrong, you guys can put it in the comments. I enjoy it. And Daniel Day Kim as Major Ben. Deemho. Names. Pronunciation. I know. I read your comments. I loved him, and I love Sasha Lane's character. And they jump through their backstories so quickly that it gets a little bit overdriven. And with all the rock anthems playing behind them, you kind of lose the flow of the movie. And it's such a fast 2 hours that you don't get to ADD through it. And I can see some people, they don't want a thrill ride. They want a nice movie with a good flow. And the pacing is like, we're going, we're stopping, we're going, we're stopping. And that's things that people, hey, along with the whole, people are getting tired of the superhero movies, turning a comic book hero into a movie. I think once Avengers Endgame comes out, I think people are sort of getting done with that whole Marvel movie, DC Dark Horse movie kind of thing. And I feel like a lot of that backlash was put out on this movie just because it's super fast paced. It's super rock and rolly. It's the max power of films. Yeah, you don't snuggle with max power. You strap in and feel the G's, to quote a Simpsons quote, because Simpsons have all the greatest quotable notables. Our production companies were Summit Entertainment, Millennium Films, Campbell Grumman Films, Dark Horse Entertainment, Lawrence Gordon Productions. Our distributor here in the good old United States of America, God bless America, land that I love, was Lionsgate Films. Our special effects, and man, there's a mouthful,
was Mr. X, Rhythm Hughes Studios, Rise Visual Effects, Worldwide Effects, Goodbye Kansas Studios, Unyaboya FX, Orcanal Studios, Invisible Digital District, Navigage. And if I'm mispronouncing these things, let me know in the comments, because damn, I'm bad at names.
My thoughts on the film. Just to be honest with you, it is the rock and roll thrill ride that people weren't expecting. And because Professor Broom, a hard swearing, hard hitting merc instead of like the man of God that he usually is, I think threw people off. People weren't expecting Professor Broom to be someone cursing. I don't think they were also expecting for a reboot in the series. People were looking for that classic Hellboy with him and Liz, the kids. Everybody was excited to see that, and they didn't get that. They got a reboot, and I think they Spider-Man this thing. Yeah, if you don't know what it is, go back and look at all the Spider-Man movies that have come out in the past few years. There's far too many Spider-Mans and far too many reboots, and I think this is what people weren't looking for, and that's a shame. Some of the storylines include a King Arthur storyline, which is really frustrating because like I said, I feel like the King Arthur thing has been played to the hilt. I mean, you are playing to an English audience because you're in jolly old England, mate. And I felt that didn't help anything. It's a 5.4 on IMDb out of 10. And it's a 15% on the tomato meter, but 63% of the audience liked it. So it's a 50-50 toss-up. Just remember, this is a fast-paced movie. You're going to spend 2 hours glued to the back of your chair because it's all you'll need. Kind of thing. I do want to see what CinemaSins thinks. Just to be honest with you, I think this is going to be one of those things. It's going to be a cult classic just because it is just that off. I wish they had brought Del Toro back in for this film as well. Just because they made Hellboy too serious, and they replaced some of the more silly, more artistic things with more serious, realistic-looking things, like Hellboy's hand, Hellboy's gun, and they got rid of familiar relationships that you were aware of from the previous films, like Liz and Abe Sapien. And they didn't have the jokes and things like the inside jokes that, oh, I'm a monster protecting humans. They replaced it with more whiny kind of a version of Hellboy, which I didn't like. My thoughts on the movie. I see it as a definite TV watch. I'm going to buy it as a DVD, but just because this might be a cult classic someday, just to be honest with you. I definitely see this as a one-and-done kind of theater thing, but if you haven't seen it yourself, go see it now. It's not horrible as bad as everybody says it is. I mean, everybody is burnt out on superhero movies, but this is so fast-paced. Just go to see it as like a thrill ride. You're going there to get yanked around and jerked around like a roller coaster. With all that said, if you like what you see in here, make sure you hit that like button. I don't even think YouTube knows I have a like button anymore, but hey, if you want to hit it, go right ahead. It may work, it may not. I don't know. Like what you like. Don't let YouTube tell you what you like. Remember, all comments are 100% guaranteed response. Tell me your realities, your fan fictions, your tales of ennui, your tales of yay. If you like this movie, if you hate this movie, why? Because I kind of enjoyed it because I didn't. I ADD, and it was so fast-paced that you didn't have time to be bored. But for other people, that might not be so good. Blasting across the salt flats at the speed of sound is not always everybody's cup of tea. You know, I have to ask, I have an Amazon, I have a Patreon, and it is not without your donations that keeps this channel afloat. I don't know how I do it without you guys. I literally don't. I have so little to do so much. Thank you for all your donations so far and supporting that American dream. And if you want to see more of this nonsense, make sure you click that subscribe button and that little bell icon.
Ding. Ring a ding ding.
And I will see you all in the next movie review. Bye!